What's up, everyone? I am Luminous Wolf. Um, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, I'm here to actually just make this video because I was really debating, to be honest. Um, lot of you don't know me. I've been through a lot in life. Um, lost a son, had disability, all that. But a lot of things I also know that I have been there for people in all walks of life. Um, I think one of the things that's happening now that I'm seeing in terms of mental health, as well as like life in general, um, people do not feel like they are worth it. And I want to say you are. Um, I have felt that myself. I still do a little bit. I still feel like I'm a worthless person. I don't have a standing, or I feel like I don't belong. Um, because I think that's just me finding my identity in a social constant space more than I had done before. So I'm trying to find like what is my niche. And along with that, I realized that um, I have forgotten a lot of things that I have taught myself in life. Um, like recently, I had something that happened to me that requires me to walk to work more because I need to get my car fixed as well as something else. Um, and did not realize that just the littlest thing as walking, just walking outside to work or to a short destination was peaceful. And I used to walk all the time back in high school and middle school. Um, so with that said, I want people who are watching this video to understand that is we say it all the time. Any investor probably are watching the channel that we always say it's okay not to be okay. I am I'm basically on gonna layer down top of it. It's okay to just not be okay either. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to feel something negative, but there's a point in time where you have to ask yourself, are you gonna do something about it? And a lot of times in people in my space, they don't do anything about it. They sit there, they talk, there might be a few posts here and there, and down the line they do the same thing again, expecting a different result. Um, I used to be like that. I used to be a boy who cried wolf back in the day. Um, I have learned my lesson the hard way. It wasn't like an easy thing to do. Um, I took my disability at a level of pettiness to a point where if I was not going to use that my advantage, it would not. I would just basically fan out. Like I would just be upset, you know, cause destruction, and at some point, um, I met a certain person in life that kind of taught me that my disability wasn't who I was. So therefore, the stuff I was doing was overly impacting me in life as a person. So therefore, I needed to knock it off. Uh, not it wasn't easy. Um, Today, people don't know I cannot hear or me not pay attention to the fact I have no ears. Um, to me, that I'm not offended. Before, I used to be offended. Now, it's just like it is what it is because I developed a way to basically help me in life without having to say, "Well, I got a disability," but I'll be vocal about it. But like, if nothing's gonna be done, I'm not gonna prefer to pursue it. I'm just gonna just like space out. I had that happen a couple times during my few doctor appointment where they were just completely ignorant on the fact, like they would just maybe not read from a mask while they're talking, or maybe write something down. Um, that's it. That's the way of life. Unfortunately, that's the last thing about other disabilities as well. You got to think about someone on a wheelchair. There's no ramp, so therefore, you might not try that restaurant out or whatever, or that's not the thing. So coming back to the, I feel like I just like went off the rails. Um, Coming back to what this video is about is if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you are at a place where you don't feel like you are worth anything, I want you to understand I hear you, I feel you, and you are being very seen. Um, my advice is really just to talk. Talk to someone. Go to therapy. Talk to your family. Really have a talk with the person that making you feel like you're not worth something. The hardest talk tend to be the most easiest because once you open the door, it feels like you have control over your emotion. A lot of times you think you're going to overreact. Honestly, you deserve to overreact depending on the situation. Like, don't go every situation argument guns blazing like you're some crazy madman person, whatever. But if the situation arises that you need to, like, I need to vent out, do so. One of the other hard lessons in life that keeping stuff inside does nothing. You think that being a man that does not cry, keep their emotions deep down in their soul, nah, dude, it does not. I have a few fathers that are like that, and they're no longer in my life. That's just because I am a father myself. I have a kid. They decide to go that, and then I don't want them one day change my daughter's perspective of them when they decided to basically become a thinking time bomb. That's just reality. That's the truth. Um, a lot of things that people may not know that a lot of people in my life think that I hold grudges. Well, I don't. I just see you differently. But that's not a concept that a lot of people don't understand. Like, you could do a million things that are bad, and you decide to change your life around. I'm gonna see you change your life around. I'm not gonna foresee you at all your bad actions. But when perception might change where you change your life around, you and me had a good standing, and some point you stab me in the back, or I did something for you and you decided to not honor your word. The perception change. Like, I know you're capable of this, and therefore I'm gonna be very much at arm's length. That's not a grudge. That's not something negative. That's just how I see you. A lot of people don't understand that your actions does have consequences, doesn't matter small or big. It doesn't have to be physical either. It could be very much mental. Um, like, no joke. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. Um, you know, right after, before my son died, I used to hang out with this kid. He the one who taught me magic, got me into acting for a bit, and we worked together, so we could constantly talk about comic books and stuff. So I thought I had trust in him. Like, I thought I had somewhat of a friend. Um, when my son died, unexpectedly, you know, I basically tried to talk to him about it. I invited to my son's funeral to, like, you know be consulted of me. Like, I didn't like it. It wasn't. It was a bad time, so not a lot of family and friends came. There was very much a divide. Um, so, like, I need someone there for me. He was the one. I asked a few others, but, like, no answers really. Not even kidding. Like, there was no answer. There was no sorry for the loss. Like, he cut me out cold once my son died. And then, not kidding, the other day my wife was like, he's here with his son, because he had a kid, didn't acknowledge each other. Could I probably acknowledge him? Probably. But I just think that's something, like I said, I'm not mad at him anymore. I just don't see him a person that was willing to change. Because even if I didn't approach him, there could have been a moment where he could approach me, and then maybe we could have that reconcile. But there's so many scenarios in that. But I'm just saying, like, perception change. Like, I wasn't mad. Like, we locked eyes. Like, we saw each other. We nodded. But that was as far as that we ever will ever, like, that was that. Like, I think he knew what he did was wrong. Or maybe he didn't care about me at all. Or maybe, like, he didn't want to interact with me, and then, whatever. But, like, stuff like that happened in life. And I think some people don't need to really take offense to that happened, because I think you understand that not a lot of people are gonna be with you in your life forever. You know, um, when I talked about how, like I said, my son's funeral, there was a divide. There was a divide. There were a lot of people think that the mom had done something, and then some people think I did something, and then there was a neutral party, and then that created a more intense environment. But as time goes on, the people that you know were choosing sides no longer talk to me or the wife. Um, Even if we reach out, zero contact whatsoever. And sometimes that is a very hard pill to swallow. Of understanding that a lot of people do come and go, either for a long term to a point or a short term to a point, but very hard. Um, I, you know, I did a lot of self reflecting, a lot of hard pill swallowing. That sounds wrong. A lot of hard topic to digest, I would say. Um, to get to where I'm at now, where I'm confident enough to be like, I don't want you in my life, or this is dumb, or I know this is not serious because I know you did this 3 weeks ago, and now you're trying to get the same reaction out of me 3 weeks later. What are you doing? Um, because I got one life. We all have one life, and I think it's to a point where we need to sit down and think about, what do we want out of life? Are we going to sit at a point of anger, regret, grudges, sadness, mofiness, whatever, or live a life of getting out of the funk, getting into the positive mindset, and have a happy life? Because anyone can have a happy life. It's hard to get into the positive mindset where everything you're thinking is negative. And a lot of times, the first step isn't the doctor, isn't a therapist, isn't a parent, isn't a friend, isn't a girlfriend. The list of goes on. You need to take the first step. No one can ever take that first step but you. Understand that that's how mental health works. It's your mindset, how you perceive things. If you can't take the first step of getting out of that toxic or whatever negative mindset, no one else can do that for you. They can help you. They can encourage you. It's just like, you encourage a little baby to start walking, and you think, come here. That's all they can do. You need to walk. You need to walk to them, take that first step, and hopefully things can be better. I hope that whatever you take out of this video, know that we may not know each other. If we do, good. If you don't, that's fine as well. Doesn't matter. You are worth it. You're a person that deserves to be on the planet, and you're a person that deserves happiness in life. If someone tells you or something tells you otherwise, Don't listen to them. You are worth it. And understand that it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay not to be okay. But don't let that bad day, that bad moment, define who you are. So, I hope you all appreciate this little talk. I'll probably ramble a few times, but you know what? Like everything I just said, sometimes I think the first step is the hardest, and I did this, and then I know this probably sounds corny, but I just like talking sometimes. Uh, but Lumi out. Bye bye.